This dynamic website was built completely using AI. And this is how I vibe code beautiful $5,000 websites using the Google Antigravity method. These are websites that turn viewers into buyers. You don't need any coding experience. And I've sold sites like this to clients for over $1,000. Let me show you the entire process from scratch using free tools. Now, the product you choose determines whether the animation sells or falls flat. And this is why I chose an iced latte. It's a popular drink. I drink it. Where I live, we love it. And it makes a great visual. The entire site is branded to the colors of cold iced tea latte. And it looks premium. And as somebody who worked for agencies, who runs an agency, and who's seen clients invoice for services like premium websites, I know how much they're willing to spend. I've seen those invoices. So something like this is incredibly premium. You can do a lot more than what I'm showing you. But this is a site that took less than 30 minutes. And the key to building a website like this is you need a clear goal, a clear vision, and you need assets. So for this, the hero is the tea latte here. And I'm going to show you why realistic, product-focused visuals convert better than static websites or abstract designs. So the first step is to generate the base image, the first image that we're going to use in this animation inside of the hero image. And I'm going to show you a free AI that creates the foundation image that the entire effect depends on. So head over to gemini.google.com. Now, as a quick disclaimer, I'm actually on the pro plan, so I pay for this, but you can actually do this on the free tier. The only difference is you're not going to get Nano Banana Pro on the free plan. It's just going to be Nano Banana, which is their version 1 of this image generator. So you can see here that I want to generate the main image first. And the prompt I used was create an image of an iced latte. I want it to be in the center with a black background, make it quite big, oblique view. So this is what it came back with. Oblique view is basically the opposite of bird's eye view. So bird's eye view would be obviously looking down onto the glass, but that's not what I want. I want this angle. So I like the product, but I didn't want the straw. So then the next prompt was to remove the straw, and I kind of glitched out a bit, so I typed in again, and then I came out with this product. Now I'm very happy with this. It looks delicious. I like the colors. I like the black background, and it just works for me. So I'm happy to start with this. Now you can do this prompting for any product, any industry, any category. I'm just showing you the process. The key points here are that you want to remove all the distractions. So the hero, as it suggests, should be the centerpiece, right? It should be the showstopper, which is the iced latte. So that should be the center. It should be big, and that's your hero image. Anything else is kind of distracting. And I've tested a different style of images and aspect ratios, and honestly, vertical works really well for dynamic websites. So now that we have the starting image, we can move on to the next step, which is the transformation step that makes the static image look like a $5,000 animation. You're not going to need fancy equipment or design studio or even a design team, because we're going to let AI do this for us. And the end frame is the most important because it ties everything together and gives it the explosive animation, the dynamic look and feel that we're looking for. So the next step is to head over to a website called Google Whisk. It's actually still in Google Labs, so it's very experimental, but honestly, the results are excellent. And so what you're gonna do is you want to upload the actual image here. So I'll show you what it looks like from the start. You just go to add images. I've already gone ahead and done this, and this is what it'll look like. So you just want to upload the image that you downloaded from Google Gemini, which is this one here. You attach that, and then you give it this prompt. So the prompt is generate a hyper-realistic cinematic closing shot of a freshly poured iced latte. I'm going to include this in a Google Docs, and if you want access to that Google Docs, type latte in the comments and I'll send it to you. And the point of this is to give it a cinematic premium effect, and this is going to be the end image. So you can see that I've generated different styles, different angles, and the one that I went for was this one here. So when you're happy with the output, just save it. If you're not happy, just go back into the prompting, just keep reprompting it until you get something that you're happy with. Now remember, you are using Nano Banana inside of Whisk. It's completely free, so you can generate as many images as you want, right? Just go crazy with it. The point is, be happy, make sure that the output matches your requirements. This next tool turns 2 still images into 8 seconds of motion that would cost thousands to code manually. Welcome to Google Flow. Now this is another experimental tool inside of Google Labs, but it does an amazing job. The other great thing about Google Flow is that they give you access to VO 3.1 completely for free. You can generate as many videos as you want. So click inside of the new project and it'll take you to something like this. Now I've already created the videos here, but I'm going to show you exactly what you need to do. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is change this to frames to video. So it should be set to text to video. You want to change it to frames to video. The next thing you want to do is make sure it's set to VO 3.1 quality, which is the best output. You want to set it to landscape, and you want the number of outputs to be 2 because it's free. You might as well generate as many free versions of this video as you can. Okay, and then in the same prompt document, I'm going to include this prompt. Okay, so what I'm asking Google Flow to do is to basically animate the first frame and the last frame. So basically fill in the gaps, right? And the language model can do whatever it wants. I'm going to use its creativity, its Gemini experience, and then just make me a dynamic 8-second video. So So the prompt is animate smoothly and physically between the provided frame and the last frame using realistic fluid dynamics. This is very important because you want to get the premium dynamic aesthetic that I showed you at the start. And it kind of goes on more of that. I mean, it's quite a big, big prompt, extended prompt. There's nothing left to ambiguity here. I'm very specific in what I want the output to be. And then you're going to get 2 videos. Okay, so just download the best one. Now, unfortunately, we can't actually use these videos because if you look at most dynamic animated websites like Apple or Sony or Samsung, they actually use frames. So what they do is they take the video and then they break it up into frames. And that's how it stops it from being jittery. It's smooth. The transitions are seamless and it looks premium. So for this, we're going to head over to a website called easygif.com. And what this does is it turns any video into a bunch of GIFs. So click on a video to GIF here, and then you want to select to JPEG because that's what the output's going to be. And then you want to upload the video, and then just select the start frames, right? So where do you want the video to start from? I've gone from 2 seconds because there's nothing that happens in the first couple of seconds. So I want it to roll on from the second point onwards, right? It should be 8 seconds because that's how long the video is generated from Flow. And then I've left it at the original size, and then I've changed the keyframe rate to 30. Once you're happy with that, you hit convert to JPEG, and it's going to generate every single frame as a JPEG. Okay, so you're going to see all of these. There should be something like between 180 to 240 frames. So you can see that it's basically every split second. Scroll down to the bottom and download the frames as zip. And then once you've had that done, create a folder on your desktop, call it whatever you want. I've called mine iced coffee, and then drag the zip file into this folder. Now comes my favorite part of the entire build, okay? Because this is where 3 minutes of AI will replace 40 hours of coding. I'm not joking when I say this. And this tool is Google's Antigravity. It's an agentic builder. You can run as many agents as you want. You can connect it up to several language models. And honestly, I think this is going to change the world. I've been building a lot of apps, websites, anything I could think of inside of Antigravity. And I think it's incredible. I think it's going to change the world. And 2026 is going to be an incredible year for this. So you can see inside of here, I've got a folder called Cold Press and Co. That's the name of my website. And everything that you see inside of here, all the modules, the JSON files, the dependencies, libraries, all of that has been built by the agent inside of Antigravity. And so I'll include the master prompt inside of the Google Docs. Remember to type latte if you want to get your hands on that, and leave a comment below the video. So this is a master prompt, right? You're an expert front-end engineer. You're going to design a single page, high performance marketing site for the Obsidian, the flagship iced latte from the Cold Press and Co. Right, the vibe is high-end laboratory meets boutique roastery. Again, this can be any style, any angle that you want. This is what I went for because I'm doing like a high-end roastery. And then I've given it espresso black colors, frosted glass look, cream oats, electric amber. These are colors and styles that I want on the website. Everything you saw at the start of this video. And then the interactions is scrollytelling. So this is just a term to describe what we're seeing here, that premium animation look with a macro video immersion and extraction telemetry. And these are just design principles, right? Some of your favorite websites like Apple, Samsung, Sony, they all incorporate these features and these frameworks. So I'm building it into my website. I'm just copying what the best do. And then I've given it some color palettes, some branding guidelines, fonts, padding, spacing, everything that I want to show on the website. And honestly, at this point, you're just a project manager. Like when I was building this website in like 30 minutes or less, I was literally just making sure that I was happy with the output. I wasn't necessarily doing much. There were a few issues where some of the text was overlapping. I couldn't see some of the text behind it. I had to move around some of the elements on the website. But again, I just prompted it. I prompted the agent. I didn't physically do anything other than take screenshots, paste it into the agent's window here, prompting window, and then just tell it, fix this. And that's what all you need to do. If you do get errors, don't panic. Just ask the agent to fix it for you. And it can. It'll fix any problem, any situation that you're in, because using language models to debug code is one of the best use cases. And then it went through all of this. So this is about, I think it took about 20, 30 minutes, something like that. And for the most part, I was just kind of approving it. So if I wanted to run a package or download some libraries or dependencies, I just have to approve that. That's all. And then it creates a plan, like an implementation plan or walkthrough. And it basically tells me everything that's going to build. It's got the telemetry hood, which I thought was quite cool. It's got a laboratory grade process. I can add membership sites, and I'll talk about that in a future video. So I can connect this up to like a backend database, like a really secure site, and integrate it if I wanted to sell this. I can even add payment gateways like Stripe. So I can charge 20, 30, 50, whatever dollars I want per month. And you could do it all through Antigravity. So you can see here, it's giving me the whole design aesthetics, the tech stack that it's going to use. And that is live on my local development server, which is localhost port 3000. And then at the end, I uploaded a screenshot because I just wanted to change a few of the design specifics. I took a screenshot of the browser, pasted it in here, told it to fix it. And it said, look, I'm now now examining the screenshot. I've successfully updated the hero animation, resolved the layout issues. Here's a summary of the changes. And it actually tells me what is done. And for this build, I use Gemini 3 Pro, low latency, and I set it to fast, not planning. The reason for that is because I'm recording a video. I also run an agency in the daytime, so I don't have like a huge amount of time. I can't spend hours on building something like this unless a client is paying me to do that. But if you are doing this in a production environment for your clients, definitely want to change this to planning, and you want to change the Gemini language model to 3 Pro High, because that will give you better reasoning, greater context, and longer thinking. That's a $5,000 website built in under 30 minutes. I didn't use any coding. I have no design experience. I'm just using free tools and the right process. And this works for headphones, products, anything with motion. The possibilities are insane. So I want you to go ahead, use this workflow and build something magical. The sky's the limit. You could do way more than this. I'm just giving you an opportunity to build something, to get your toes wet, and it shouldn't take you more than 30 minutes. That's how good Google Antigravity is. And if you love this tutorial, click on the next video you can see on screen. Don't forget to type latte in the comments if you want the prompting sheet. Like this video if you took some value. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. And before you go, say it with me, something magical is going to happen today. Until next time.